The next one I'm going to do is using basically the same pattern with the torsion ground like we did before. The only thing is we're going to add a little bit to it. You can take the torsion ground and add spiders and contrasting thread like I did on these two, or you can do it to where you have threads that go zigzag across or go partly across, and that way if you had like 3 colors for a high school team, you can put all 3 colors on it. These are some of the different ones I have. Like this one, I've already put the extra lines so I can follow my design. This one is the one we just seen here. You can see where I used green on one side and red on the other so I could keep track of when to move my colors around. This one I forgot to bring with me, but this whole side is one color and this whole side's another color, and that line lets me know when to move my yarns around. This is the same thing, but instead it has the cloth stitch in between each, which gives it a different look. And then this one here is really cute. This one a lady on the internet made. It's a little heart shape. It's a little bit tricky to do, so I watched the video several times just to get the hang of it, because the colors they show here are actually this center part there. And I put little green lines to show me when to connect the heart to the torsion ground. These are my little cheat notes. And like this one here, this is done with scallops on the ends. I'll show that one later. So what I did, oh yeah, and this one has the spiders in it. That's the same as this one here. Let me see if I can get this aside. Probably better if I get a different one. Yeah, you can see, maybe I can enlarge it. You can see where I've got the dark colors going around the outer perimeter, and I didn't draw them, but you can, followed by the spiders in between. We'll get into the spiders in another episode. But I just want to show you some of the different things you can do with your basic. So here's your basic. So what I did was take a pencil and I drew my lines. I would just I generally would use red or a color that's really easy to see. Unfortunately, I don't have a red marker with me, but you would just go through each of these as you go down and then finish them up. So by the time you're done, you've got your design set out. Now I've enlarged this one, and I'm using size 8 thread so we can make a bigger version of this, but with only 1 strand instead of 3 or 4. I thought we'd just start with 1 and show you how to change it off on this point. This is just the regular torsion ground, which is cross twist. When you get here, you do a cross twist cross, and that switches the yarns around it, which is very, very important. But we'll get to that, and you'll see that as we get to it. I've already got my bobbins done. Now, if you have this book on page 30, there's the one that I used in order to make my copies from, because it's solid and there's no lines on it or any other descriptions except for telling you sequence 1, 2, 3, 4. It shows you the sequence of how to actually start this one, which was really great. That's why this book is so nice. It really takes you through all of the sequences, and like this one shows you the sequences down even a little further, so when you get into the spider, it shows you how to work the spider in, and we will do a spider too. Okay, let's get started. Pin this down. I'm not going to do the whole thing like I did the last time. I will pause the video and work a little at a time. May not do the whole thing. That's why I've got my little handy dandy V, because I can stop it at any point and put my V there, and that's where I would end it. So I haven't decided where to end this one yet. I'm not going to make the whole thing because this is very long, and my bookmarks are usually only this long, not that long. But I just figured it's easier to see what I'm doing in a larger size. We'll start this one like we did the other one with our little pins up here. Now I've already poked all the holes, so the holes are already there, which makes it easy. Now the contrasting color I'm doing in orange, and the main part of it I'm doing in an off-white. Now I've wound the bobbins already, so we didn't have to worry about them in the beginning, but I'm sure you already figured out how to wind your bobbins. in this, the knot is entirely up to you how you do yours. I usually do mine. I go this, and that's how I get mine in. I'll do it again. Over my thumb, stick my fingers in. You can do it any way that works good for you. But I found that works best for me. Right, so let's go ahead and get our bobbin started. Now we're going to start with the basic cross, twist, cross, where we have to cross before we get started. So then cross here, set a pin. Oops, I didn't go all the way. I'm so sorry. Cross, twist, set a pin, cross, twist, and then you pull these out. And now you got your first one started. And as you see, it's already got your next cross in. I'll enlarge this a little bit so we can go through them. Let's set this one aside because we're done with this set. Now we're going to do number 2. So we grab another set of bobbins. And cross them, so now we're ready to do it again. So it's cross, twist, set a pin, cross, twist, release your thread. And we put this one aside. Now move these over, grab the next one. See, we're not ready to add the other color yet. It's on number 4. So we add another one of these. Normally I do it on 3, but with all these numbers in the way, I felt it'd be easier for you to see if I didn't do it on number 3. Okay, I got my bobbins ready. Oops, I need a little bit more. Okay, and I've already crossed them, so it's cross, twist, cross, twist, and now it's time to add my color. So I'm going to pick up my orange. You can use any colors you like. I'm going to move this over to the side. So I got my twist, cross, twist. I think I'm doing it right. Cross, twist, cross, twist. To me, it should be the other way, but that's okay. Now I've got my orange in there, but as you see, since I did the cross twist twice, both of the oranges went to this side. If I had done something a little different, one orange might have went one way and one orange might have went the other way. And when that happens, it's pretty obvious, so you can get it fixed. Okay, I got my twist, so cross, twist, set a pin. I need to set it more this way. Cross, twist. We're getting there. We need one more. Cross, twist, set a pin, cross, twist. All right, we're done with that one. So now we got one whole side done. Let's move these all to the side because we don't want to mix these up. So we'll put them over here and set a pin so they don't go anywhere. Now we're going to use this one and go down this side. So we need to set another set of bobbins. We got our twist. Now we're going to do cross, twist, set a pin, cross, twist. Got another one finished. All right, so move these aside. Grab the next set. Okay. Cross, twist, set a pin, cross, twist, release your thread, and as you can see, we're forming the other side. I'm going to move this over. Some pins stuck on the side of my pillow where I had these dangling. So I got my twist, cross, twist, set a pin, cross, twist, release. Since this same one is going all the way down, I have to, oh, I made a mistake. That should have been the orange. So let's take this one out. Set it aside. Get my orange one out. That's why I like having a little cheaty line. It lets me know where I'm at. If I make a mistake, I can catch it easy. This one's tangled a little bit, but that's okay. We'll get it fixed later. Cross, twist, set a pin, cross, twist. Now we're where we should be. Cross, twist, set a pin, cross, twist. One more and we're ready to start our pattern. Hopefully I wound enough thread on these bobbins. I'll get into that on a later episode where you can add thread if you run low. Cross, twist. All right, so now we're all set. So move all these to the side. Now we're ready to start the pattern. Now with this particular one, it tells you what to do after you do number 11, which you can see there, you come back over and you do 12 through 17. And they're going this way, which is the way I'm going to go. I'm just going to follow what they're doing. Or you can go here, 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 here. But then that you could get a little confused. So let's go ahead and do this. And it's just the basic cross twist. Get a little more thread on my loose on my bobbins. Right now the bobbins are real loose, but once you've done one more set of cross and twist, they won't slide as easy. Okay, let's go back. Now we'll do our check. Make sure number 12 is we're using the right two, so we cross it over like this, and if it covers it perfectly, then you know you've got the correct ones. If you grab the wrong ones, as you see, you have to go way over to get it to cross, so you know this was not the right set of bobbins. So it's cross, twist, set a pin, cross, twist. Set those aside. I like to use little pins to hold my work. As you see, it still slides a little bit, but not as much as it did. In a couple more rows, it won't slide at all. Okay, cross, twist, set a pin, cross, twist. Now we're going to do the orange ones. Cross, twist, and as you see when I did this, I got one orange here and one orange here. Now the next time I do my cross, the orange is going to go across to the other side. So now you can see the orange is over here. Now you got both oranges over here, but that's because we've used those. Now as we work our way across, both of these will switch over here and they'll switch back and forth. But you can see where you're supposed to be because you got your little line. Cross, twist. On number 15, cross, twist. Okay, now we do the next one. Cross, twist. And as you see, you're never using more than 4 bobbins at a time, so you pretty much can help figure out where you're supposed to be. Now with the last one, I always add one extra twist because you got that longer section between the 2 dots. So cross, twist. I like to make mine thicker, so I'll do cross, twist, cross. It just makes it a little bit thicker. You don't have to do cross, twist, cross. I'd like to do it because it gives me a nice thicker edge. Cross, twist, cross. So you can't see it too well here, but as we progress, you'll see it better and better. All right, let's move these all over here now, because we're done with these at this point. So see, now we're here. You can pretty much tell where you're at, because when you move your bobbins around, the ones on the right kind of stay together where the ones on the right I mean the left will stay together too. So let's do another one. Cross, twist, cross, twist. Do it again. Cross, twist, cross, twist. Now if you want to do two colors, you can add another line of a second color, or you can just leave one line for practice. Cross, twist. So this would be how you'd make your own patterns if you wanted to stay with the same design for a while until you get comfortable with it, by adding the threads differently. I'll show you how to do some of the other ones, but I just want to start with one of the simpler ones, and we work our way up through it. Just like in the book will start you with the bookworm, and then after you've done the bookworm, it'll take you into these, and then they add in the other different stitches as you go. Okay, now this one I add the extra twist, cross, twist, cross, set a pin. Oh, I got two in my hand. Cross, twist, cross, and then do the extra twist. Now this is optional. I just like to do it. All right, now as you see, as we come back across, the next one we're going to do is the orange. So we'll go ahead and get a little more length on the orange because this is the one that's going to go all the way across. Okay, so it's cross, twist, set a pin, and as long as the orange stays on the line, you know it's working. And at this point, the two oranges are going to cross. As you can see right there, you got the little lines coming from both directions. So you know that's an intersection between, by putting the two colors together. And we just keep going. Have the next one. Now when we get ready to do this last one, you have to do that cross, twist, cross, because you've got to get this bobbin to go from this direction to turn to go back this way. And as you see, every time we do one, it keeps going this direction. We want it to go that way. So that's when the cross, twist, cross comes in handy. Do that extra twist there. So cross, twist, cross. Now you see both of your oranges are together at this point. Now we want it to go back the other way. So when we do this other section, we do cross, twist, cross. Now you see it's there, so it's going to go this way. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the next several up to this point, and then we're going to twist this one with a cross, twist, cross, so we need this one to go that way too. Okay, I've gone across this roll underneath the orange. I just want to show you what happens when the orange, when you move it over. Now you just follow your regular cross, twist, set a pin, cross, twist, and you see now it's over there where you want it to follow the line. And then the last one, we do that extra twist, cross, twist, cross. I pull it, not a whole lot, but up a little bit. Cross, twist, cross, twist. Okay, so now I've got my other corner done. So now we'll go ahead and continue working. I'm back to the orange again, so I'm going to do the cross, twist, set a pin. Cross, twist. And then you can see the orange is still going like it's supposed to, so I'm going to continue on until I get to this spot here, and I'll be back then. At this point, I'm going to start going down this side, so we'll put the second twist on here, cross, twist, cross, because we're doing that extra little bit, so we'll make the side just a little bit thicker, a little stronger, cross, twist, cross, twist. Okay, so now I've got this one ready, and at this point I will continue on like this, and I'll be back when I'm right there. I'm now at the spot where this orange is going to cross back over this direction. As you see, this one is doing really good. All right, so you put the second twist on, cross, twist, cross. Now you see both of the oranges are on the right and the white, the cream is on the left. Now we're going to repeat that. Cross, twist, cross. And the extra twist because we need it. There. Now see, now it's ready to go back this way because doing that extra cross on each time before and after the pin, they both move over to this side. So now we just keep going like we've been doing, and I'll meet you back. Now I'm back over to this corner. So we do the same thing over there and move it up. Cross, twist, cross. So now both of them are over on the right, the left. I'm going to set a pin. And we repeat it. Cross, twist, cross. And because it's the end, we're going to do an extra twist. Now the orange is back over here, so it can go this direction. You always have to remember to do those extra crosses in order to make it come back. If you don't do it, you'll realize your oranges are over here and your beige is still over here. So now we're going to keep going. However, say I'm out of straight pins. Instead of bringing in more straight pins, you can pull these straight pins out of your work up here. However, don't pull your outside pins because you need to keep those in. That's what helps keep your work steady while you're working on it. Sometimes it's hard not to miss the accidentally pulling out the wrong pin. And if you do, you can always go back and put it back in. Okay, so now you can see this really well and it's following the lines. All right, now we'll go ahead and continue working a little bit further. I'm now back to the next corner. So you would do the same thing again, that second twist, and then cross, twist, cross, pull it out, get a pin, cross, twist, cross. One more twist because it's on the corner. Now you see it's back to this direction again. And then I need a few more pins real quick. Then it's cross, twist, cross, twist. And you just continue on across like you've been doing. As you can see, the design is really forming nicely. Now I'm getting to the point where I'm kind of low on the pillow and I need to move it up. I will show you that next. I'm going to get this at least to the center. Okay, now I'm getting low, so see the bottom of my pillow is down here, so it's going to be hard for me to have the bobbins hanging off that. So what I do is I leave it alone and kind of let it rest for about half an hour to an hour. That way all my twists and turns will get comfortable in their new position because the thread is used to being perfectly straight. Now all of a sudden we're wanting it to twist and it may want to go back. So we're going to let it sit and rest a little bit, and then I'll show you how you can move your pattern up and continue on your work. Okay, at this point I need to get all the pins out. You take them out carefully because we want to move the pattern up. Okay. But take them out carefully because you don't want to disrupt your little what do they call? Stitches. I'll get it right in a minute. And at the next point, you have to be very careful. I'm going to have to move the pattern up too. Okay, one more. Okay, now my pattern is loose. I'm going to make this flat for now, because I don't want my bobbins to shift. Now move my pattern up. And then reset. Now you didn't necessarily have to move the pattern up. I just did because I want to have the bottom here in view for what I'm doing. Okay, so now we have to reset our pattern on it. This is where you got to take your time. Okay, we want to make sure the zigzag matches the zigzag. See, it's right here. So we put a pin right here because that's where one of the zigzag is. And find the other one, which is over here. Now you don't have to put pins in every single spot, but you definitely want to put pins in your last row. Right in the middle of your stitch, or as close to the middle of the stitch as you can. See what happens when you pull? Try not to pull it. Even if they're not exactly in the holes, they're close enough. Okay. And then have a few going up the side to hold the sides in place. This one goes up here, I think. Yeah, and this one goes here. I think I pulled that one. I shouldn't have pulled it. Probably went a little bit too high. I add a few more right through the center here, just for safety reasons. Now, when you start working on this, you do not want to tug or pull it all on your bobbin threads, because all these are going to be loose. Put in as many as you feel comfortable with. It's hard for me to see because I've got this up on the camera up on a stand. Okay, so I definitely got to get these last few done. This one goes here. Just about done. One more little set right here. Got to get these done too. Trying to put it in the middle of the stitch. Okay, so now when you pull your pins down, let me get that out of the way. Oops, see, I pulled. See what happened when I pulled? You got to try very hard not to pull. Sometimes the more that you pin, the better it is. But that's how you would move your piece down, or move your piece up so you can keep on working. Now, sometimes you don't necessarily have to move your pattern up, just move your work back up a little bit higher. I did both so you can see it being done both ways. So now I pull these over and continue on. I left off right here where my two meet. Because see, now if you do this, it's a perfect X going either direction. If I do this, it's not touching anything because the oh, wrong way. The dot is right there. So that means these are the next two. I have to use this one, and these two. Because if I do this, it does my perfect match. Cross twist, place a pin, cross twist. And like I said, don't pull too hard. Be very gentle until you get down a little ways. just like when we first started. Remember how the bobbins used to slide up and down? So we're going to do, cross, twist, set a pin, cross, twist. Next one, cross, twist, set a pin, cross, twist. And do another one. Now we're going to do our second wrap over that one. Cross, twist, cross. Tuck it up a little bit. Set a pin. Then cross, twist, cross. And another twist. And move it up a little more. Oh, that's a little bit too far. There we go. So now I was able to continue on down here, but my bobbins are sitting on my pillow, which makes it a little easier. Now I should have made it up a little higher, then you'd been able to see my bobbins a little better, but that's okay. I take it out a little bit. And you just keep going. Try not to pull it. Okay, so now we'll go back here on this end piece, so we do the extra twist. So then it's cross, twist, cross. Set a pin. Then it's cross, twist, cross, and another twist. That gives us the extra one we need on it to move over to the next one. So then see, this one's already got it on it. Cross, twist, set a pin, cross, twist, cross, twist. If you notice, I'm not really pulling on it too much. I'm just kind of letting it go where it wants to go for now, because I can always ease it a little bit later. Now we'll do the orange one. So as you can see, this orange one's going this way. So we showed two things on this video. One, we showed how to line up your little lines to make little diamond patterns, and how to move your pattern up so you can work in the middle of your pillow. Now if you had a pillow that had sections and you can slide it, that would be awesome. But if you don't, or you don't have a rotary pillow, this is the next best way to keep moving your pattern up while you keep working on it. Now this one, the orange is going to go this direction. But by doing the cross twist, set a pin, you've got one on one side and one over here. Now we're going to do cross twist again. Now both of the orange ones are over here where they're going to go. This one's a cross twist cross because we're doing that extra little on the end. Cross, twist, cross, and an extra twist because this is the last one because we have to have the little twist there. All right, so I'll go ahead and do a little bit more and then I'll be back. I decided to stop at this point. If I was thinking when I first started, I would have started with my orange at the very top. That way this wouldn't be there and it'd be nothing but the triangles the entire way down because I'm going to end it with an even triangle. So keep that in mind, whether you want to start it and so you have even triangles all the way, or if you want it to come off by a couple of stitches like I have here, and you want it to end off a couple of stitches. So think a little bit while you're designing if you decide to add design to it. And let me finish this last roll. Now this last roll, since I decided to end it with the orange, had to do a cross, twist, set the pin, cross, twist, and why didn't it work? Because I separated, wasn't paying attention to what I was doing, that's why. Okay, so it's cross, twist, cross. Now I got my orange on the right and my beige on the left. Now if we repeat it, cross, twist, cross, and the other twist, because we're at the end. Now my orange, it will go down this way. We get this one out of the way, we're done with it. Now the next ones, let's see. Cross, twist, set a pin, cross, twist. So see, my orange is going where it belongs. Cross, twist, set a pin, cross, twist, cross, twist, set a pin, cross, twist, cross, twist, set a pin, cross, twist. Now this is the very last one. This is going to join these two together. I usually do a little bit more when I do the bottom one. I'll do cross, twist, cross, because this one is, when you start finishing it up, it's nice to have that little extra right there. Okay, so now I'm done. At this point, you would start making your tassel. And I showed the tassel in the last one, so I'll just do half a tassel this time, and then I'll do the other half off camera, and then get the pins out and you'll see the difference. Okay, you got to bring this down a bit. You want to make sure your bobbins are out of your way. There's several different ways to finish off, so watch some of the other designers on their YouTube sites and you'll see several different ways of finishing off. It just pick the one that you like or pick the one that's easiest for you to do. Let's see, let me take it out a little bit. Okay, so it's cross, twist, cross, cross, twist, cross, cross, twist, cross, cross, twist, cross, and cross, twist, cross. Now you pull these up. Okay, like I said, I like to put a pin over here to the side and hold on to this one. That kind of helps hold it in place. Now I go back to the first one. Now these two are the first ones. And take them all the way across, but stop here because you don't want to do these over here. You want to leave these alone. So each time you do it, you're using 2 less bobbins in your finish. So by me ending in orange, it's a helpful reminder to stop with the orange. And you pull these up. I put it over my pin. Okay, now I got it. And that kind of helps hold it while I make sure these are all pushed up there. And now we're going to do it again. And this time we're 2 bobbins less. Stopping at the orange. Put those over the pin there. Tighten these down. We do it 2 more times. Once. And 1 more time. Okay, and then you have this one left, and you're not going to use it. So if you want, you can put that over the pin too, because this way you know you're done with this set. So kind of slide these over a little bit, because these are done with at this point. There. I put a pin to hold it in place. Now we're going to use these. Do the same thing. Since I've already done it on one side, I'll go ahead and pause to finish these off, and then I'll come back with the finish. And we'll get all the pins out and we'll see what our finished product looks like. Now I have both sides done. So you want to bring all your bobbins down low. You don't want to take them off yet because you still need the pressure of the bobbins holding your thread tight. You just want to have them down off the edge of your pillow, or however it works out depending on where they are in conjunction with your pillow and your finished product. See, I have the second pin right there. That's why these are over so far. I haven't taken it off the second pin yet. If I take the second pin out, there. Now these last few. Okay, so now I know I'm going to use the 2 orange ones to tie off with, but this time instead of using 1 of each, oh, I need to pull this one up tighter. There we go. I'm going to use all 4. So I slide these 2 to this side, and I slide these 2 to this side. And now we're going to do a knot. It can be a little bit of a challenge when you're using 4 bobbins at once. And you pull it tight. Make sure all the, see, this is a little loose right here. I got to figure out which ones I need to pull and tighten this side up a little bit. Oh, this one. There, so it looks more even. Now we're going to do it again. We did right over left. Now we're going to do left over right. So the left 2 over the right 2. That makes a square knot, which is a pretty durable knot. There. So now it's nice and tight up there. And you can do it again if you like. You can do as many as you like. I'm going to go underneath. It's a little more of a challenge when you're using 4 bobbins instead of 2 like we did on the first project. But you can do it either way. I just decided since it was a different color, I wanted to have it different. All right, so now I'm going to do right over left. And then I'm going to do left over right. Now, if all these threads were the same length, I wouldn't have to be tugging and pulling on them. And slide it up. There. So you can do it any way you want. Now I'm going to do one underneath. Let me get this untangled. I want to tie one from underneath. That way I have one knot on the top, whoops, and one knot on the bottom. Forgot to put it in like I was going to tie it. There, now it'll tie. So I have one on the back, and then I'm going to do one more. There. Okay. I got them all done. And then you cut your tail. And now the oranges are kind of in different places around it. You can fuss around with them too to get them where you want them. So all that's left now is for me to take the pins out. Okay. Now we need to get all the pins out, but you want to take them out carefully. You don't want to mess up all this beautiful work you did. I usually hold my piece so that way if one of the, now you can see what I've done. You can actually see the orange. Now if we had put a spider in between, that would have made it look like this one. That would have been really neat. But we'll do the spider on the next one, and we'll still do this. And you see, on this one, I made sure it was right along the edge of the spider. It's the second one in. Instead of number 1, it's number 2. Or here I've got it number 4 instead of number 1. You can put them wherever you want. Now, if you're going to make it into a bookmark, it's pretty floppy. And I've tried different ways of stiffening it with different starches. See, this one is a real stiff one because of the starch I used. The one I found works the best is this one. You can get it off the internet. I think I bought mine through my supplier, but this really works great. All you have to do is spray it on. You want to make sure it's, don't do the tail though, and then turn it over. Spray it again, and then you got to let it dry. Because obviously, until it dries, it's not going to be stiff. You want to set it the way you want it, because once it dries, that's how it's going to be. So you want to make sure all your sides are straight and even. As you can see by doing that cross twist cross here, it's a little bit thicker and gives you a little bit of an edge, which kind of looks good as you go down into this bottom half. So now I'll let it dry for a little bit, and then once it's dry, we'll see what it looks like as a finished piece. I sprayed the stiffener on this and let it dry, and as you can see, it is very stiff. So it makes an ideal bookmark. The one we're going to work on next is this one, which is two-toned. It's going to have the lines through it and the spiders. See, I had another one here. I don't know if this one show better or not. Yeah, I guess it does. You'd have your diamonds around your spiders. Thank you for watching. I hope this video was helpful and informative. If you like it, please subscribe to the channel and hit notifications. That way, the next time I do one, you'll be the first one to know. And this will be the next one I'm going to do. It's going to show the spiders and also do the torsion ground with the diamonds around it. So I'm going to apply what we learned the last time, which is the torsion ground with diamonds, and add the spiders. Thank you for watching.